Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here and I'm about to show you what I found. But before I do, let's talk about this week's tip. This week's tip involves organization. I am pretty well organized, even though everybody around me would think the opposite. I have stuff everywhere, but I know exactly where everything is. So I am organized, but in my own way. One of the things that I do is when I do my strap searches, I put all of my finds in an envelope, and then when I'm ready to film, I pull out that envelope. Now, sometimes my bank will send me 2,000 instead of 1,000. Sometimes I will go to Vegas and do 5,000. There are times that I get more than 1,000 a week for singles, but I still only produce videos for 1,000. So the question is, what happens? Let me scoot these out of the way. I take all of my notes, like I said, they go in an envelope, and then the envelope will go into this box. Every one of these envelopes represents a $1,000 strap search. So as you can see, I have done a lot more strap searches than I have shown. But when it's time to do the next one, I grab the next envelope, I go through that, and then that, when I'm done with it, will go into my box. And once my box is full, that's when I do my after the hunt video. So even though I have searched and found all of these, and like I said, each of these represents 1,000 notes searched. Even though I have searched these and I found this stuff, I have not shown this stuff yet. I just keep going in order. When my bank calls and says we have another 1,000, I will sort those, and those will go here, and they just work their way back to the front. And I don't know if you can see, but there are, see, there's plastic, there's plastic. There are a number of plastics that are in here. So as they come, there's another one there. As it is time for the next envelope to be pulled, that's when I happen to have the good stuff. So once again, I don't pick and choose different good things to bring out, except for today. Today, I had to. My last $1,000 search went ridiculously well, so I was not going to wait to go through all of those envelopes before this one comes. So here is what I found this week. Starting off, found a note with damage. If you look at the bottom here, at a glance, that looks like it was misprinted, or it looks like an under-inking error. But when you look real close, you can clearly see that there is damage here. It's like a piece of tape was put on there and somebody peeled the tape off, and that's what gives you this damaged area right here. No additional value on that. It's simply damage to the note. A lot of people would love to sit here and tell you that this is worth a ton of money. It's not. It's just a ruined note. I saw it, figured this would be a good time to explain how that works. On a Where's George note, they were nice enough to highlight the number, made it easy to spot. Where's George? I will log this one as soon as I am done. And then check out this Where's George. Found this Where's George note. It's a star. I don't think it's a rare star. I didn't look it up yet. I will when I look up all my others. But yeah, somebody stamped Where's George on a star note. That's something you don't see every day. Then I found some trinaries. Look at this one, 44, or I should say 445, and it ends in 544. So it looks like it's a radar, but that 4 would have to be a 6, or that 6 would have to be a 4. So it's one off from a radar. I don't care. It's a trinary. I'm not trying to say this is worth anything, because I know that trinaries aren't worth anything additional. Neither are one-off radars. Why? Because it's one-off. It's not a radar. If you're a one-off, that means there are 10 times as many of those as you would find regular radars. So no additional value on that. Just going in as a trinary. Another trinary, once again, one off from being a full rotator. 6s, 9s, and 0s are the only digits you can use to be a rotator. This one's got the 1-7 in there. It's just a trinary, no additional value. This one is 2s. What is this one? This is 2s, 3s, and 9s on this trinary. 0s, 5s, and 9s here. 4s, 6s, and 8s. 0s, 3s, and 5s. This is 2s, 5s, and 9s. and some quads. Quad 1s, quad 3s, another quad 3, quad 4s, and again, no additional value on these either. I just pull these hoping to make a pair. Quad 5s on this one, quad 6s, there's quad 7s with a 5th, quad 8s, quad 9s, and we get to some stars. 2017 A star note, always checking to see if they are filled. 2017 star, 2013 star, starting with a bunch of zeros. That's pretty cool. So a fairly low number. Ideally, you want a 5th zero there, but all in all, that's a fairly low number. I'm not saying that there's any additional value there, but it's certainly a lower number star. 2013 again. And check this out, a 2003 A star note. So that's an old one, and it's in fairly decent condition, all things considering. Then I get to some of my older notes. This is a 2003 A, pretty rough. A little bit better on this 2003 A. This one is okay. This one's pretty nice. Good paper quality, still bright on this 2003 A. Definitely a keeper, and I'm glad to see that it's not a G or an L. This particular one from Cleveland, that might be an upgrader. Another 2003 A. This one's rough, probably going away. Kansas City 2003 A. Another one, 2003 A. And another. So I found a bunch of these. A lot of these are really limp, so they're going to go back in circulation. This one's just 2003, but also extremely limp. 1999. Another 1999. And no, that's just damage. It's not a printing error. Just damage on the note there. Another 99. 1995. Checking to see if it's a web note. It is not. 1995 here. Also pretty limp. 1988A. Not a web note. Also fairly rough condition. So far we've done the... Actually, I did find a 2021, didn't save it though. I found stuff from the teens. I found the 2003, so that's the 2000s. You saw the 90s. Here's 80s, 1988A again. Still not a web note. 1988, good shape on this one. Note from the 70s, 1977A from New York, really good shape on this one. 1977, Chicago note, a little bit of a stain, but overall decent shape. And a 1969C, this one from Chicago, also in really good shape. So I managed to find notes from every single decade. 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. Not very often you can pull off that particular trifecta or superfecta or whatever you want to call it when there's that many. But then you can see I've got something in a holder, and you knew there was something in a holder the whole time because that's the whole reason I brought this particular one out. Not that the every year isn't impressive, the 60s through today, but this note, yeah, I had to pull this. Ready? This is a circulation find. So this lets you know that they are out there. Check that out. 4222224. I found a super radar in circulation. That is insane. You figure most of these are going to be picked out immediately. Nope, this was in circulation. 2017A super radar. 4 on the front, 4 in the back, all the digits the same in the middle. I tried to look this one up, and I don't think that the information I saw on it was right, so we're going to just do it the hard way. Obviously, the first and last digits are the same. Well, there are 10 different digits, 0 through 9, so there are 10 different ways that you can have a starting digit. But then for all the other digits in the middle, there's only 9 ways to do that, because if you did all 10, well, then you'd have a solid. So there are only 9 ways to make all the numbers in the middle. Well, 10 times 9 is 90. But you cannot have 9888888 because they didn't print that. You can't have 97777 because they didn't print that. And you can't even have 96666 because they didn't print that. So those three numbers aren't even choices. So you subtract that from the 90, that gives you 87 combinations out of 96 million. So finding this is, like I said, there out of 96 million notes, there's only 87 of these. That's how rare something like this is. So what I did do is I did grab my newest book, my Green Guide of Fancy Serial Numbers, just to check to see what it had to say. And I think he did his math wrong because he says that there are 810 combinations, but I don't see how that would work unless he is counting somehow the letters, but I don't think so. But he's got the rarity scale of 7, and he is calling this over face value anywhere from $75 over face to $750. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to fall in that range because it is a big enough range. Realistically, I mean, that's easy 100 or 2, I'd think, without a problem, right? Super Radar found in circulation. There was no way I was going to put this in an envelope and let it sit there for months. I had to show that to you guys right away. All right, so what did I pull out this week? Well, this week I have just a really cool eBay find. It's not even currency. It fascinated me, though, just the same. This is a member's pass to the House of Representatives. It's a thick cardboard pass. You can see Washington, D.C., and then there's all kinds of writing on it here, and I'm not sure. That looks like either the 4th or the 21st. I think that would be the 21st. That's clearly an A, so it's either April or August. Most likely April. I'm going to say April 21st. And this looks like it says 192, and then there's a 0 there. So that looks like 1920. But if I look real close, it almost looks like they tried to change the 2 into a 3. Maybe they did. I'm not 100%. For Mr. and Mrs. E.E., and I'm going to go with Everett. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe the E would look like that, but it looks like a V is something, and then you can definitely see the 2 T's at the end. So I'm thinking it's Mr. and Mrs. E.E. Everett to the Visitors Gallery. And this writing doesn't seem to match. Well, actually, this print does kind of match the EE portion here. And trying to figure out the signature, that was really tough. The last name looks like White to me. That's the closest I can come up with. And I looked up all the different Whites, and there was a Wallace White from Maine in 1920. Maybe that's a W. Maybe that's a Wallace White. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. But all the same, it is a member's pass to the gallery, the visitors gallery of the House of Representatives from 1920. How cool is that? It doesn't have anything on the back. It is kind of interesting because you can see right here, there's a definite line from smoke. It's got all kinds of smoke damage on this side. It doesn't surprise me. I'm sure there was all kinds of clouds of smoke billowing because you were allowed to smoke back then. So yeah, this has got smoke damage on it. Just a cool little piece of history. Members pass for the House of Representatives Visitors Gallery from 1920. Spotted that on eBay. I thought it was really neat. I could see this print here. Looks a lot like something the BEP would do. And yeah, just kind of fascinating. Had to get it. All right, that's what I've got for you guys this week. If you learned anything new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. Love reading all your comments. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.